Walgreens and CVS are closing stores, lots of stores. It's a trend that's been growing over the past few years, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. It's like they're playing a game of retail Jenga and they keep pulling out the wrong blocks. Each store closure feels like another piece being removed, making the whole structure more unstable. Walgreens recently announced they're closing another 150 stores. This is on top of the hundreds they've already shut down in recent years, leaving many communities without a local pharmacy. This comes after they already shut down hundreds in the past few years. The impact is being felt far and wide, with many people now having to travel further for their prescriptions and healthcare needs. CVS is doing the same thing. They're also closing hundreds of stores, which is causing a ripple effect throughout the retail pharmacy industry. They're closing hundreds of stores too. The reasons behind these closures are complex and multifaceted, involving everything from financial struggles to changes in consumer behavior. It's like they're trying to outclose each other. Each announcement seems to be followed by another, as if they're in a race to see who can downsize the fastest. But why are these pharmacy giants struggling? The answer isn't simple. It's a combination of factors that have been building up over time. Well, it's not just one thing. It's a mix of economic pressures, changing consumer habits, and increased competition from online retailers. It's a whole cocktail of problems. Rising costs, shrinking profit margins, and the growing popularity of online shopping are just a few of the issues they're facing. Think of it like a really bad pharmacy-themed cocktail. Each ingredient represents a different challenge, and together they create a recipe for disaster. It's got a little bit of everything you don't want. From high operational costs to declining foot traffic, the list of problems seems endless. One thing's for sure, this is a big deal. The closure of these stores is more than just a business decision, it's a community issue. These closures are going to affect a lot of people, especially in communities that rely on them for health care. For many, these pharmacies are a lifeline, providing essential services and medications that are not easily accessible elsewhere. Elderly individuals and those with limited mobility will be particularly hard hit. The convenience of having a local pharmacy cannot be overstated, and its loss will be deeply felt. In small towns and rural areas, the impact is even more pronounced. These communities often have fewer healthcare options to begin with, making the closure of a local pharmacy a significant blow. People will have to look for alternative pharmacies which may not be as convenient or accessible. This could lead to longer wait times and increased pressure on the remaining stores. Community leaders are already discussing the potential fallout and looking for solutions. However, finding a replacement for such a vital service is no easy task. Many people have personal stories and emotional connections to their local pharmacies. These closures are not just about losing a store, they're about losing a part of the community. Despite the challenges, there is hope. Communities are coming together to find solutions and support each other through these tough times. Whether it's through local initiatives or new business ventures, the spirit of resilience is strong. In the end, while the closure of these stores is a significant setback, it also presents an opportunity for new beginnings. With determination and community support, new solutions will emerge to fill the void left by these closures. The economy isn't doing these companies any favors. With rising costs and shrinking budgets, it's a challenging time for retailers. Inflation is making everything more expensive, from rent to the products they sell. This means higher operational costs and slimmer profit margins for businesses like Walgreens and CVS. People are feeling the pinch and they're cutting back on spending. Consumers are becoming more selective about where they shop and what they buy, often opting for cheaper alternatives. That means fewer customers walking through the doors of Walgreens and CVS. Empty aisles and quiet pharmacy counters are becoming a common sight. And it's not just the economy. Competition is fierce. Other pharmacies and retail stores are vying for the same customers, making it a battleground for consumer dollars. Dollar stores are popping up everywhere, offering low prices on everyday items. These stores are attracting budget-conscious shoppers who are looking to stretch their dollars further. Big box retailers like Walmart and Target are also expanding their pharmacy sections, making it harder for Walgreens and CVS to compete. These giants offer one-stop shopping experiences, drawing in customers with convenience and competitive pricing. It's a tough market out there, folks. Retailers are navigating a perfect storm of economic pressures and intense competition. As consumers tighten their belts, businesses must adapt or risk being left behind. The landscape of retail is changing, and only the most resilient will thrive in this challenging environment. Here's a fun fact. Shoplifting is a big problem for pharmacies. People steal everything from toothpaste to prescription drugs. This forces stores to spend more on security, which eats into their profits. Walgreens has even resorted to locking up basic items like deodorant and shampoo. Imagine having to ask an employee to unlock a bottle of shampoo for you. It's not exactly a pleasant shopping experience, and it's a sign of the times. Theft is a serious issue, but these anti-theft measures can make customers feel unwelcome and frustrated. It's a lose-lose situation. Now let's talk about pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs. These are the middlemen between drug manufacturers and pharmacies. They negotiate drug prices and decide which pharmacies are included in their networks. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, here's the catch. PBMs often play hardball with pharmacies, squeezing them on reimbursements and forcing them to accept lower prices for medications. This puts a strain on pharmacy profits, making it even harder for them to stay afloat. It's like trying to run a marathon with a PBM sitting on your back. Pharmacy deserts, a growing problem. As Walgreens and CVS close stores, it's creating what's known as pharmacy deserts. These are areas where people have limited access to pharmacies. Imagine having to drive for miles just to pick up your prescription. It's a major inconvenience, especially for elderly folks or people without reliable transportation. Pharmacy deserts can have serious consequences, leading to medication non-adherence and poorer health outcomes. It's a healthcare crisis waiting to happen. Can independent pharmacies make a comeback? So with all these closures, is there a glimmer of hope for anyone? Well, maybe. The landscape of the pharmacy industry has been dominated by large chains for years, leading to the closure of many small independent pharmacies. However, there's a growing movement that suggests a potential comeback for these local gems. Independent pharmacies are starting to see a bit of a resurgence. This resurgence is driven by a renewed appreciation for personalized service and the unique touch that only a local pharmacy can provide. Unlike the impersonal nature of big chains, independent pharmacies offer a warm, welcoming environment where customers are more than just numbers. They offer personalized service and a sense of community that you don't always get from big chains. Customers often form lasting relationships with their local pharmacists, who take the time to understand their individual needs and concerns. This level of care fosters trust and loyalty, which is hard to find in larger establishments. Plus, they're often able to be more flexible with pricing and services. Independent pharmacies can tailor their offerings to better suit the needs of their community, whether it's through specialized medication compounding, home delivery services, or competitive pricing on generic drugs. It's like the little guy fighting back against the big corporation. These small businesses are finding innovative ways to stay relevant and competitive, leveraging their strengths to carve out a niche in the market. Can they compete in the long run? Only time will tell. The challenges are significant, but the determination and resilience of independent pharmacists cannot be underestimated. They are constantly adapting to changes in the industry and finding new ways to serve their communities. But for now, they're offering a much-needed alternative in a changing pharmacy landscape. As more people seek out personalized care and a sense of community, independent pharmacies may very well find their place once again in the hearts of their customers. The rise of telehealth and online pharmacies. Let's not forget about the elephant in the room, the internet. Telehealth and online pharmacies are becoming increasingly popular, especially among younger generations. People love the convenience of getting medical advice and prescriptions from the comfort of their own homes. This shift towards digital healthcare is putting even more pressure on traditional brick-and-mortar pharmacies. It's like trying to sell cassette tapes in the age of Spotify. Adapting to the changing healthcare landscape. So, what does the future hold for Walgreens and CVS? They're not going down without a fight. Both companies are investing in digital healthcare and trying to adapt to changing consumer preferences. They're expanding their telehealth offerings, partnering with insurance companies, and focusing on healthcare services beyond just filling prescriptions. It's a classic case of adapt or die. The future of Walgreens and CVS. Will these efforts be enough to save them? That remains to be seen. The pharmacy industry is undergoing a massive transformation, and it's unclear who the winners and losers will be. One thing's for sure. Walgreens and CVS need to find a way to stay relevant in a rapidly changing healthcare landscape. They need to offer something unique and valuable to customers, or they risk becoming relics of the past. What this means for consumers. What does all this mean for you, the average consumer? Well, it means you might have to travel a bit farther to find a pharmacy. It also means you might see higher prices for prescriptions and other healthcare services. But it also means you have more choices than ever before. You can choose between traditional pharmacies, online pharmacies, telehealth providers, and independent pharmacies. It's a brave new world of healthcare, folks. Conclusion: the changing face of pharmacy. The pharmacy industry is at a crossroads. The closures of Walgreens and CVS stores are a symptom of larger economic and healthcare trends. The rise of online pharmacies, the changing role of pharmacists, and the increasing complexity of the healthcare system are all contributing to this shift. It's a time of both challenges and opportunities. Only time will tell what the future holds for this vital industry. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be interesting to watch.